Hello learners, my name is Dr. Bhupesh Rawat. I am working with Department of School of Computing, Graphigera Hill University, Bhimtal. I welcome you to this lecture on cybersecurity for emerging technologies. Today we will explore how cutting-edge innovations like AI, IoT and blockchain are reshaping finance while also addressing the critical cyber threats they bring. Here is what we will cover in this lecture. We will explore how AI, IoT, and blockchain expand financial access. We will identify 5 critical cyber threats in digital finance. We will also analyze real world attacks on mobile banking and CBDCs. We will examine RBI and NPCI security guidelines for user protection. We will evaluate the role of regulators in balancing innovation and safety. In the last lecture, we covered application level security in digital finance. Now that we have outlined our objective, let's begin by understanding what digital finance is and how it is transforming financial inclusion. Digital finance refers to the use of digital technologies to deliver financial services, products, and transactions. This includes online banking and mobile banking. Digital finance leverage mobile apps, digital wallets, online banking, and CBDCs. Now, what is CBDCs? CBDCs stand for Central Bank Digital Currency. For example, digital rupee. Digital finance is not just about convenience, it's a gateway to financial inclusion, ensuring everyone from street vendors to rural farmers can participate in the economy. The rapid growth of digital finance is driven by technology adoption, especially post COVID. The driving force of digital finance include AI, IoT, and blockchain. Financial inclusion. What is financial inclusion? It means providing affordable access to savings, loans, insurance, and payments for all individuals and businesses. Why does it matter? It reduces poverty because people can save money safely and borrow when needed. It allows more people to take part in the economy, like starting a small business or getting a job that pays through a bank. It empowers poor and marginalized groups like women or people in rural areas by giving them control over their money and a chance to improve their lives. Now let's take a look at India's success stories. Imagine India, where even the smallest vendor, the farthest village, and the humblest worker can access banking and digital payments with ease. This is no longer a dream, it's reality. Thanks to India's financial revolution. Here is how it is happening. Jan Dhan Yojana. Over 50 crore accounts opened since 2014. Paytm and UPI enable small vendors and daily wage workers to accept digital payments. Aadhaar enabled payment system. Rural residents access banking via Aadhaar and biometrics, even without a nearby bank branch. These success stories wouldn't be possible without the backbone of cutting edge technologies. So let's explore how AI, IoT, and blockchain are driving the transformation. So let's start with the first objective, how AI, IoT, and blockchain reshaping India's financial ecosystem. Technology is reshaping India's financial ecosystem, making services smarter, faster, and more inclusive. From AI driven loans to blockchain powered security, here is how cutting edge innovations are transforming finance for every Indian. AI, artificial intelligence. AI system that mimic human intelligence. For example, a daily wage earner uses a mobile loan app that based on their mobile recharge and payment history gives a credit. Second is credit scoring without a bank account. A street vendor with no bank history gets a loan because AI checks their mobile recharge pattern and bill payments to decide they are reliable. Fraud detection. AI is also used in fraud detection. An AI system notices strange activity on a farmer's bank account and blocks a fraud attempt immediately, protecting his savings. AI is also used in chatbots in local language. A woman in rural village uses WhatsApp to ask questions about loans. An AI powered chatbot replies in her local language and helps her apply easily. While AI is revolutionizing credit and fraud detection, IoT is bridging the gap for those in remote areas. Now let's talk about IoT. IoT connects devices like smart ATMs. For example, a village milk vendor uses a solar powered POS machine for payment. Smart ATMs in remote areas. A small town with no bank branch has a solar powered ATM that works with mobile networks, helping locals withdraw money without traveling far. Digital crop monitoring for loans. A farmer uses a smart sensor to monitor soil and crop health. This data helps him get a loan because the lender sees he is managing his farm well. POS machines at roadside shops. A tea stall owner in a village uses a portable POS machine connected to mobile data to accept digital payments even without a bank nearby. And when it comes to secure low cost transaction, blockchain is leading the way. So let's talk about blockchain. It ensures secure low cost transaction. For example, a migrant worker sends money from Dubai to Bihar faster and cheaper than traditional methods. Low cost international transfer. A Nepali worker in India uses a blockchain app to send money home instantly and pays less fees than using a traditional money transfer agent. Government subsidies with no middleman. A poor household receives a government LPG subsidy directly into their account through a blockchain system, quickly and without corruption. Transparent donation tracking. A donor gives money to a charity supporting girls' education. Blockchain helps track the fund to ensure the money reaches the school without being misused. Expanding access through technology. So AI uses alternate data, for example, a mobile transaction, to serve those without credit history. IoT brings financial services to remote areas via mobile ATMs or wearables. Blockchain reduces cost and builds trust in cross-border payments. Now let's take a look at the case study. RBI sandbox for AI microloans. The RBI's regulatory sandbox tested AI-based lending using alternate data, SMS, spending behavior. Outcomes included faster credit approval for contractual workers. No civil required. The RBI ensured data privacy and scaled successful models. RBI's AI microloan example. A food delivery rider in a city does not have a credit score or any property to offer as security. So normally he can't get a loan from a bank. But thanks to RBI Sandbox, a new app uses AI to check his mobile SMS, spending habits and payment history, like regular mobile recharge or rent payment. Based on this data, the AI system gives him an instant 1000 rupees loan, no civil score, no document and no collateral needed. The RBI checks that the app follows data privacy rules, and since the model works well, it allows others to use it too, helping more contractual workers get small, quick loans easily. This helps workers like delivery agents, drivers, and cleaners who don't have formal bank records but still need small loans to manage daily life. Cybersecurity in digital finance, an urgent need. As UPI wallets and CBDCs grow, so do threats like phishing, malware, and insider attacks. So, what is a CBDC? CBDC stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. It's a digital money created by country's central bank like RBI in India. It is just like cash but completely digital. You can keep it on your phone and use it to buy things, send money, or receive payments. How is CBDC growing? More and more countries are testing or launching CBDCs. In India, the RBI is running pilot programs where people and shops use digital rupee for small payments. It is being used in places like government payments, shops, and banks. Now let's take a look at the real world example. Cosmos Bank attack, which occurred in 2018. 94 crore rupees stolen by ATM malware and cloned cards. Axis Bank breach, which occurred in 2016. Insiders leaked data, prompting stricter RBI audits. SEBI API breach, which took place in 2023. Weak controls led to investor data exposure. Penalties followed. Now that we have seen how these technologies are transforming finance, let's turn our attention to the critical cybersecurity risk they introduce. Our second key objective for today is critical cybersecurity threats. The first threat is malware. So what happens? Hacker infect your phone with a virus. What is the risk? It can steal your banking password, card details, or personal data. For example, downloading a free game that secretly records your UPI PIN. The second threat is SIM swapping. What happens? Scammers trick your mobile operator into transferring your phone number to their SIM card. What is the risk? They get all your OTPs and can access your bank accounts. For example, imagine losing your phone network suddenly, only to realize scammers have hijacked your number to drain your bank account. That is SIM swapping. Third one is app cloning. What happens? Fake app look identical to real ones like Paytm or bank apps. What is the risk? You log in and hackers steal your credentials. Example, downloading Google Pay Pro from a shadow website. A real app is just Google Pay. The fourth one is insider threats. What happens? Employee with access to customer data misuse it, sell info or steal money. What is the risk? Your private details could leak even if you are careful. For example, a bank worker secretly shares account details with scammers. These threats are not just theoretical. In the next section, we will see how they have played out in real attacks on mobile banking and India's digital rupee. The fifth one is ransomware. Ransomware is malicious software that encrypts a victim's file demanding payment, usually in cryptocurrency, to restore access. Financial institutions are prime target due to their sensitive data and ability to pay. For example, hackers infect a bank system via phishing email, encrypting customer data and demanding $1 million in Bitcoin to unlock it. Operators freeze until resolved. Why it is dangerous? Because it cripples operations, ATM, online banking, all are down. It forces costly payout or data leaks. Now let's take a look at case study, SEBI API breach and penalties. Incident in 2023, a fintech firm misused SEBI APIs to access sensitive investor data. What was the cause? Weak API access control, lack of encryption, and poor monitoring. So, what was the risk? Data exposure, potential market misuse, loss of trust. What actions were taken? Penalties imposed, guidelines issued for API audits, and encryption. What lessons were learned? APIs are critical assets and must follow strong authentication and encryption protocols. Let's move on to the third objective, mobile banking and CBDC attacks. As digital banking and India's digital rupee grow, so do the risk. Cybercriminals are constantly evolving their tactics, from fake UPI app to impersonating the RBI itself. But with the right safeguard, we can stay protected. Let's break down the threats and the defenses. The first one is UPI fraud, which occurred in 2022. Scammers created fake app that stole OTPs, stealing crores from innocent users. The second is fake app rupee, which occurred in 2023. Fraudsters cloned RBI's digital rupee, tricking user into downloading malicious copies. What lessons were learned? Always verify apps through official sources before downloading. Thankfully, regulators are not passive observers. Let's examine how RBI and NPCI's proactive measures like two-factor authentication and tokenization counter these risks. The first is two-factor authentication, 2FA. Double lock your transaction, password plus OTP. The second is end-to-end encryption. Your data stays hidden even if intercepted. For example, 2FA example, lock plus code equal to safe money. Think of 2FA like a bike lock and chain. So password is equivalent to your lock, only you know it. And OTP is equivalent to the chain sent only to your phone. Even if thieves pick the lock, they hit the chain. Encryption. What is encryption? Your data becomes a scrambled puzzle. Only your bank can solve it. Real life examples. When hackers stole RAS password, 2FA stopped them. No OTP, no cache. Always use both. Stay safe. So third point is transaction limits and alerts. Set maximum limit for different types of transaction. For example, UPI wallet and card to minimize fraud risk. Mandate real-time SMS email alerts for transaction, helping user detect unauthorized activity immediately. The fourth one is real-time fraud monitoring. Bank and payment system must use AI/ML based tools to detect suspicious transaction instantly. Unusual patterns, high value transactions trigger additional authentication or block fraudulent attempts. The fifth one is secure API and app design. API used for payment processing must follow strict encryption, TLS and HTTPS, and authentication standard. App must have secure coding practice, regular updates, and anti-tampering mechanism to prevent breaches. The sixth one is regular security audits. Banks, fintech firms, and payment processors must undergo periodic audits, internal and external, to identify vulnerabilities. Compliance with PCI DSS, ISO 27001, and RBI mandated checks ensure robust security control. As cyber threats grow more sophisticated, regulators face the critical challenge of fostering innovations while ensuring security. This brings us to our fourth objective, examining RBI and NPCI's proactive measure in fraud prevention and how they are setting new standards for digital safety. Proactive fraud prevention. Modern systems now monitor transactions in real time. For example, UPI dual layer security require both a PIN and instant SMS alerts for every payment, immediate transaction blocking if suspicious activity is detected. NPCI's tokenization evolution. With cybercriminals increasingly targeting payment cards, NPCI responded with game-changing innovations. Their solution, tokenization, replacing vulnerable card numbers with dynamic digital tokens. Here is why this matters. Security upgrades. Even if hackers intercept transaction data, they only obtain worthless tokens instead of actual card details. Seamless experience. User enjoy the exact same payment. Convenience just with bulletproof protection. Future proof, this system adapts to new threats while maintaining frictionless transaction. Let's move on to the fifth objective, role of regulators like RBCI and NPCI. They must keep up with technology, update rules quickly when new technology comes, stop cyber crimes, force bank companies to use strong security like turning card numbers into secret codes, protect poor and small users, ensure easy digital payments, don't become traps, for example, stopping scams loans for street vendors. Now let's take a look at the case study, India's digital success. UPI and Aadhaar eKYC brought more than 500 million users into formal banking with low fraud rates due to RBI and PCI safeguards like biometric authentication and AI-driven monitoring. eNaira versus UPI, key lesson. Nigeria's top-down eNaira struggled with adoption, while India's UPI thrived while public-private collaboration, usability and trust. Inclusion requires both innovation and security. Learning outcomes. So what are the learning outcomes? The learners are able to explain how AI, IoT and blockchain technologies expand financial access with real-world examples. They are able to identify 5 critical cyber threats affecting digital finance system. They are also able to analyze real-world cyber attacks on mobile banking and CBDC platforms. They are also able to examine RBI and NPCI security guidelines for user protection. And they are also able to evaluate the role of financial regulators in balancing innovations and security. Today we have seen how AI, IoT and blockchain are transforming finance and the risk they bring. But with robust safeguards and vigilant regulators, India's digital economy can thrive securely. In our next lecture, we will dive deeper into the tools and technologies that stop cyber threats. Thank you.